Yo, check this out. This is Wayne Wonder, representing for Warwick Hill TV. You see the vision, don't it? See the vision. Warwick Hill TV. Keep it locked.
Now, I'm gonna tell you. We, us as bloggers, these are the issues that we need to address. You understand what I say? You see? Set the bar for the youth, Share, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned to the channel. I don't know all this. Not with Ireland, no. Britain, from my experience, my observation, is one of the easiest, most accessible place in the world for black people. Black people have access to all the resources. It's just people within the institutions who have got no consequence to face prevent these things from happening and create this atmosphere. You understand what I say? But legally, bureaucratically, the institutions are set on a national standpoint. From a national standpoint, you understand? Like this, yeah. One of the easiest places in the world for black people get into representational politics. One of the easiest places in the world for black people express them true feeling. One of the easiest places in the world for black people do anything. Get educated institutionally, you know, where socially the country create goodies for its citizens. You know, is one of the most, even place that I'm saying it's the best. I'm saying one of the most balanced place for black people, from my experience, and my knowledge. Nevertheless, here are most of the issues that affect black people from my observation in Britain. Rastafari. Yes, I. Greetings once again in the mighty name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I the First. And I think that's good and wonderful amongst us. Welcome all viewers and subscribers. Viewers, if you like the content, subscribe and make it help grow the platform. Don't know. Serena Atkins, big up yourself, mama. See? Serena Atkins asked me a question the other day. I'm rich, I could read the question in its entirety. I always never really do that. some unprofessional reason. I learn where I learned still. Seeing, but the body of the question was basically asking why haven't the British black community done more to enter into politics and create some level of representation for the community, because from all of us experience and perspective, not just hers, Black Britain should be it would have been far more easier for them to, but Britain is I just want to explain from my perspective and from their perspective, and then give my own opinion on the whole thing. See, from my perspective, what I've observed is that Britain got this social strategy where them use, where verbally and institutionally them involve everybody. Seeing them create this thing like it's, we're all one, not multinational, but one Britain. Seeing different races, but we are one Britain. Everything, all of the resources, all of the access and everything like that is open for you. But what they do is take the superior avenue, that's white Britain, the authorities side of the white Britain, because get this straight, as much black people you meet, as much Asian people, as much non-white people you meet on the street and feel comfortable saying hi, or the appearance of them eye and thing like that give you a sense of, say, yeah, I mean, all right, cool running, better that. See, furthermore, when you're in a town or when you're in a crowd and thing like that, every dark skinned person you see, you get a friendly tone in them eye. See, for the same amount of dark skinned people where you see, you might, you probably, you get probably twice the amount of white people with the same eye to, what I say, where the welcoming, friendly, type of thing, like and it could be unconscious as well. It's not like them go out of them way to say hi or make you feel comfortable. It's a natural thing about them where them not, it's like them, you understand what I say? Them not see certain bigotry and them not see certain race and certain, them see it, but it's not like an issue. It's like more learning curve, more what I say, kind of variety and things like that excite some people. So them look more excited for the interaction than, anything else. But nonetheless, the racists and the bigotry are far more in numbers. See, so even them added to the dark people, even the friendly white peoples added to the dark people are way below in terms of a challenge to these physical challenge or a numbers challenge. See, so I hope me make that part clear. I hope that was clear. See, now, you see the majority who are in control and things like that create this hypocritical notion, seeing that everything is fair, everything is equal, seeing, and if you have already pre-prepared for you coming to them and pointing out disparities which they themselves set up, seeing, now they take this air of superiority whereby they ridicule your claims by acting ignorant towards your reality, or even trying to define your experience, within the reality that they themselves set up. This is how brutal it is. You are giving them an idea of what you went through, and they themselves are coming up with the definition of what you went through. They are not allowing you to do that, and they won't accept your definition. I wonder if I make sense there, so. Seeing them ridicule, like I said, them take this era superiority like they are the ones who dictate the meaning of any experience in life. Seeing, that's the attitude of the British bigot, and he knows exactly what he's doing. You do it to the point where you feel small, you feel ridiculed, you feel like an idiot. You who are trying to explain, are trying to create a level of balance. You understand? Because they themselves don't want the balance. See, it goes as far as, like I've explained, within the institution, them create hate groups, and then set them up in the middle of the battlefield for front line. You understand what I mean? So these are hate groups, are the people that you experience first, who are administering the system, the social order, the institutions. Like for instance, they took a group of people, a group of Indians from India, took them to Uganda, put them there as colonizers, basically, because what Britain did was went and colonized that part of the place, and put Indian people there and give them this again, superiority complex amongst black people. Because if you go back now and Google or YouTube, Indian people in Uganda, back in the time before Idi Amin pushed them out, you would see their attitude. You could see and you hear them attitude literally blatantly telling you that they are superior to these black people. These black people are worthless, basically. And this is the attitude and the way of life. This is how they think, how they, behave and treat the majority. That way, as if there is no, it's just a dog. He knows his position and he knows he'll never walk on 2 foot. You understand me? This is the attitude that they took with black people. It's not a made up thing. You can go check it on the, like I said, on YouTube or any farmer, go do your research. You see it. Now, if you notice today in a British society, yeah, because after Idi Amin kick out the Indian, they have all had British passports showing that they are British nationals, British citizens, because Britain is where they all came back to after the movements by Idi Amin. See? Now, these people feel nonetheless disenfranchised than an African man who's, like as if, because they claim that they are African. Even to this day, they're still claiming, because Britain colonized a place in Africa and put them there. They still claim that place as theirs. They no longer claim India. They claim Uganda as theirs. You understand me? Regardless of the reason why they were there in the first place, regardless of the relationship between them and the people in the first place, it's still theirs as far as they are concerned. You see? Yeah. Now these people, after the Exodus and they were brought back to Britain placed these people in positions, social positions, like the council, the hospitals, the education, and all of these places that the basic necessity for, small people to come up through. For instance, even in my city, Wolverhampton, for years there was a program, a financial assistance for young business developer. You know what I said? But to the population of Asians, what they did was, because a long time this black and ethnic minority argument is going on in Britain, BAME. Since this black and ethnic minority, what they did was organize the young business program, gave it to the Asians for them to assist every ethnic group who are trying to do small businesses. No, the Indian them keep it for themselves. Nothing for black people. It's the same government get wind of it, Same government realize what going on, Burn them out, educate black people to come and meet and start, because them not even introduce them, not even tell black people about these meetings and gatherings and things like that. The Indian community, Asian community in Wolverhampton did that for years. Siphon off all the fun and spend it and invest it among themselves, and didn't even tell black people about the program. You see, and the government is at fault because the government the government just set them up as well for put them in a position and show them up. You see, because at the end of the day, the duty was upon them for one black people. You can't just give that to a particular group knowing the history and things like that. Anyway, it happened. See, and no punishment, no draw, nothing. It just under the curtain and thing, and them eventually involve black people. Somewhat later down, a couple of years ago, and a couple of black youth now, or black people must maybe find themselves in the program or whatever. I don't know anything about it, because at the end of the day, I just see it as one big pot of crap. See it? See, now these people run the home office and certain places. See it? And believe you me, yeah, without like Pretty Patel and them type of people, when you observe them and study them history and see who these people are. These people are not ordinary Asians these people are so-called English patriots who were part of a colonial settings back in, so these people now act more British and defend the system, the structure, the whole structure more than even the white man does. Trust me, more than even the white man does. You know, see, and there is no consequence to their actions or their feelings. Like I tell you about the business, you can just imagine that it's not coming from their pocket, you know. See? All right. One time I reasoned with a black woman again, and she had to say them, why, all the while, because the argument and I don't see, so the data from the government and the institutions perspective why there is a setback. See, now, I reasoned with a black woman one time and she showed me say, every time them like protests for a change or something like whatever happened, police brutality, whatever happened cause them in Birmingham to protest, the government will, you know, chill and make them calm down. As soon as them calm down, yeah, you find say people start lose them property for various reasons. Some like a simple reason. People start get transferred. What the government literally do is gentrify the neighborhood of that concentration of black people. Split them up and cast them asunder all about. So it take you years, 2-3 years to familiarize yourself with the new settings where you live in, if there's a black community to speak of or to be involved with of such. This is a blatant thing. But the thing about it is that the black woman now tell me, say, why them just give up because them can't bother fear lose them place and them thing they and rate. So I say, and the side go, you involve that in the fight to you. Highlight that as part of the fight to that make it can't happen again after the next protest because you bring this to the forefront and everybody knows it's a strategy of the government where they might use. I mean, everybody's supposed to have discussed. Everybody's supposed to right for protest against something we're not like. And if the government are going to punish you with that by destroying the community, the government will do, I mean, it's a disservice. It's a break of the law. It's corruption, Rasta. You see, they might can get away with it bureaucratically, but again, bureaucratically can be stopped because it's because the people in protest, why you are going against them in revenge now, because even though you grant them a claim, say, what them protest about was right, you revengefully go against them and destroy the community by splitting them up, and that means that even though they were right, you know, these people are not supposed to be right. So let's split them up and push them all and cast them all asunder. I saw them do it the other day. A couple of years ago when the police shoot a young man in London, seeing Mark Dugan. And the people protested. See? And the government, the government ship out half of the black population, and the wickedest thing about it, you know. Most of the people, a lot of the people who are protesting are going white, were loot too, and I do them thing white. Still not seeing white people on TV are complaining so they were moved out of London and pushed to some far dark corner of the galaxy in a village and thing like that. You don't see anything like that. So these things go on. There's a brutal takedown of the thing. But this is before social media and social education and thing like that. The exposure. You don't see. You don't see. So, but apart, you see, you try protest and you do protest and thing like that and you don't see it no work. You know what I also see them do in Britain. I've also seen them with some petition thing. Seen this petition never particularly about black people. One of the petition, I can't remember what it was about. To suspend Article 50. You know, that was like, it was basically, you know, but saying to suspend Article 50, coming from Brexit, it's at the time where it takes for transit from the Union to Britain being a single market. It took a little while. I think a little space of time where them call it Article 50 was the Article 50 period for enact itself and the whatever. So the crowd say, yo, suspend the time, no, wait. See? So understandably, because it was part of the agreement from day one when the contract between EU and Britain signed, understandably, you can't just step away from that and violate that. You know, see, because a part of the process where we did all agree that because the crowd excited and I want to move, I can just jump and wait. You know, see, so they didn't debate it in Parliament or anything, because basically that was impossible to do. You know, see, it doesn't make sense to even go in there, so because you open up yourself to board severe fine and bad relations between the country them where you're apart from now, if you make the relationship worse if you ever go down the road. So we can understand that. See, but if your petition reach over 10,000, I don't remember what the process was, but if it reach over 100,000, if it reach over 10,000, it gets sent to Parliament, and Parliament have to look on it. If it reach over 100,000, Parliament usually debate it. Seeing I have a debate about it, why can't we come up with a plan of action whereby we defend some petition across the country, right across the board, and get every black man's signature upon it, and demand protective legislation for us as a people? Whoever think they can come and use this this security whereby they think they are secure in the disadvantage of us, because nobody cares, it's obvious, nobody cares, there's no law, no legislation, whoever want, no matter where the say this come from, no matter where the human rights abuser come from, no matter where the sick, twisted individual come from, him can just abuse or exercise him, taste him likeness, satisfy himself by the abuse of black people through the system, through the medium. I've seen it happen. Yo, me I work already, and I see a white man drive come at my workplace behind me. See? Tell my boss in front of me. Tell him see me a puff a big thing in the car, and me a speak. Every rule that would have made me get fired, because you have a set of rule where, see, where them set up before, where you get before you even start work. See, every one of them rules that the man comes and I break them. And you know the wickedest thing? My dash cam work. And it's my fault, you know. And the company to set up that in your vehicle and ensure that it's workable. And that day there, somewhat my dash cam work. No chip never in it for record. Nothing where I go on, and me never know. See? I didn't know. Somebody take out the chip out of my thing and left me without defense. So in comes this white man. I claim say, every fireable rule in the company, I just broke them. This change out of the blues. Every fire, I tell my boss, say, I lie that man and I tell upon me. I'm going to cuss the man in front of you. You know them fire my for disrespecting a customer. Suddenly now this man becomes a customer. This man who they have never seen before. This man whose purpose on the site was to, from my perspective, grievously get me fired. Maliciously get me fired. You know, see? So obviously me go react. I mean, yeah, come after. The company tell me say, this guy, you know, see? Anyway, that's the disadvantage and thing like that. There's no consequence. You know, see? So, in answering the question, why black people don't move closer to politics over here, is because black people has been conditioned into fear. The British black people has been conditioned to fear. You see that smooth English dapper white man is going on the street with his briefcase and umbrella. You see, the biggest gangster, biggest British gangster, you see them big gold chain, the man in big muscle, and them thing there, fear that man for dear life. That man is far more fearful to that black man than that black man is to him. Because the society create the security bubble around them whereby there is consequence. You know, see it? So the black man now just chill back and just don't say, you know what, it's their world. Let them, you know, see it? And that's the attitude. You know, see it? I might not support that. Every day, it's clear, because even with child Q, in the most recent times, yeah, the reason why the institutions, both the education institution and the police, two institutions who it's against their protocol, you know. It's against their principle discipline to deal with a child at that age in that manner. Yet the two of them stood there and applied this to a black child. You see, because these people know that even if they get fired, they get back to work tomorrow in the same industry, same thing somewhere else or however, whatever. There is no consequence. You understand me? This recent time, somebody suggested to the Prime Minister in a House of Parliament, we need to tone down the address the way we talk to one another. You need to set up some rules in here, or make some guy know so they're not supposed to use the authority of the cabinet for insult each other. Some little disparaging way, if you don't mind, chap, a guy will use a racial tone as well. And it's being considered as it's just friendly banter camaraderie within this circle. You understand the law that exists within the circle does not, different law apply, yes sir. You see, no, with attitude, he's saying no, he cannot apply these new rules because at the end of the day, it's gonna affect free speech. What kind of fucking free speech? If you insult somebody with a free speech, a co-worker, and I make him feel low in himself, low self-esteem, low confidence and whatever, and you gotta satisfy your dirty friend ego because the thing that's affecting people is not something that affects them. You understand what I say? The thing when I'm complaining about so they need changes, it's not something that affects the group of white men who run the cabinet. It affects the few ethnic minorities that's there. Yeah. And this big shaggy dog where hunt with the barrel, with a little barrel of hot chocolate, where hunt people in the snow. Can't remember them dog the name. I saw him look when Fame here, with Fame here, Parliament. Him refuse and deny all of them things and say, see, loud man them with them free speech. Make them be racist all them want. Make them be, sexist all them want. Misogynistic all them want. Just free speech. And there is no consequence whatsoever. See, all them things they're carelessness. Them things they only goes to show, say, there's one law for me and one law for you. One law for certain people. See? See? So don't get me wrong when I say it's not like, say, it can't be done. See? It can be done. Don't get me wrong when I say white people set up them bridges and them borders and barriers and things like that. Most of it is only like a psychological type of thing. You know what I say? But if it should have step towards the right and proper way, it will happen. When I ask, there are black people in parliament and things like that. It can happen. See? But these youths and them parents, see, before the generation before them, create this enemy of institutions, legislation, and all of them bureaucratical process there. You see, not realizing so because there is no representation from us while these processes are being made, they're made in the interest of the people and while there. You see? So these are the enemy. This, trust me, I am not agreeing with it, but the bureaucracy is the enemy with black people in Britain. Why them not enter politics are going a more personal representation for themselves and for the community. You understand what I say? Because end of the day, a guy is only chatting and them use them whatever and intimidate the black community into silence for a long period. We don't know about now. See, now you see a couple march and a couple argument and a couple, see, but for years, them have the black people in subjugation with the threat of displacement and all of them sort of something there in Britain. Mash up your community, can you go put you all in a white dominated community and you're alone in there, an Asian community and you alone in the field. Abuse, it's a war, systematic. You know, see, but when these things happen, the people accept it and allow it to happen without any farmer, you know, real proof of filing significant proof, severe crime is different from it. But all black people have to do a protest in them city about something where they don't like. And the council and everybody get come together and get rid of them and do it in London. And that becomes now like a thing where black people have to think about and have to factor in whenever something upsets them have to factor in the facts so well, and you know, say after this we're going to end up have to abandon, find new, yeah. That's the reality still. I'm not saying that should be a hindrance. You know, see, that's obviously what's going to be part of the process. That's still not as wicked as the whole racial inequality process still. It's just part of it. It should have been mentally factored in. Or black people get complacent and comfortable with how white people define our oppression and accept the way they do their definition, accept their term as well. And then now even, you know, leave the standard that's set by these people who define how our suffering and our struggle and things like that. So, you know, it's, you know, it becomes acceptable. You know, we look on each other the same way and we talk about each other the same way all white people talk about we. And I mean, the racist white people talk about us. You see it? And we just don't feel no way, you know, we have white admirers, same, you know, white people we hang out with us just naturally, not want to be us, know they are white, accept being white and love themselves being white and things, but them love us equally as well, love us being us, and you just hang out and everything Chris my skin white and you black, we are roll the same spliff, we are chat, we are same thing affect us and social problems and things like that. You see, because again, you know, the vast majority of what affects white people affect black people. The thing is, the escape route is far easier and accessible for white people than black people. So we have the same social problem and social issues, but, you know, getting out of the start, solving the problem is far easier for a white man. You see, and in a sense, even the white man next to you does not see how, can't see how it's easier for him than for you. So it leaves even your white friend now if you look on you like, you know, try. See? And you know, inevitably have got to carry him. And then again, when you carry him once, whoever deal with you, see the presence of that's what the real jaja. It's like you have to carry a chaperone. You know? A white chaperone for access. The system and them only do that about avoiding a confrontation with, a shameful confrontation with the white man, where they're there with you. Because I'm afraid of confrontation with you. Easily call the security guard and kick you out of that. You know, see it, and you just out a door. And if you're out there too long, the police come for you too. You know, see it. It's the easiest thing that happen for a black man over here. You know, see it. No. With all of that said, it's not the worst place in the world for black people. You understand what I say? So again, it should be far easier, and it is far easier. It's still one of the easiest places in the world for black people to get into politics, because the thing about it, and every institution, the thing about it is the big thing about it is that Britain will always hide their shame. Yeah. All right, we give thanks. Share, like, and subscribe. That's the fire.